Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Minnesota Twins franchise. It's episode 62. As we continue pushing toward the All-Star break, we're going to be facing the Kansas City Royals in today's episode. We have a nice lead on them in the AL Central, but they are playing above 500, and we're still a game back of Cleveland. So perhaps the AL Central is destined to have some very competitive years here in the near future. But let's get into today's action. The Twins at 40-24, playing some really good baseball lately. And we're going to have Yadier Alvarez take the mound today against Ian Kennedy. So neither pitcher is having a great season. Kennedy just 2-6 with a 5.17 ERA. Batting second in this game, we had Zach Granite, who has been hitting well recently. And we had so many different players who were tired for this matchup that we have a really unique lineup for this game. And Granite continues his offensive success with a base hit the other way. He's added to our outfield depth in a nice way. Then Paul Goldschmidt up the middle and stopped at short. Alcides Escobar starts the double play to end the first inning. For the Twins, it's Yadier Alvarez taking the mound, and I do think he has shown some improvement this year, especially with his control and taking the walks down a notch. Here's how different our team looked for this game. We had Mitch Garver, A-Ray Adrianza, Zach Granite, and Quentin Berry all starting. The first hit for Kansas City is a base hit from Escobar, who came in hitting .286. He's aboard for Eric Hosmer, who waves at the circle change. 2-2. Alvarez misses the inside corner, but drills the payoff pitch high and hard to left where Zach Granite tracks it down. 2 away here for the Royals. Billy Burns next with a 2-1 count. A line drive hit into right center. Blackman over to his right to make the catch. It's a scoreless first inning. One of my favorite surprises this season has been the offense from Mitch Garver. He's hitting .273 in his rookie season. He hits this 2-0 pitch that falls fair and right for another base hit with 2 away here in the second. It's A-Ray Adrianza next, starting at second base in this game. A fly ball hit into right center with some carry, and it is caught. Adrianza hitting just .170 this season coming off the bench. Bottom 2, here's Alvarez facing Salvador Perez. There's a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, followed by the changeup on the outside corner. Again, we see the improved control for Alvarez. Now top 3, a walk drawn by Jorge Polanco gets him aboard for Quentin Berry, making his first start of the season since being called up from AAA. Into left center and down for a base hit. Berry hit really well at AAA both this season and last, and I like adding his speed to our bench. With runners at the corners, Berry takes off for second. Perez throw is in time, and he's out. I had to take auto base running off after that because I did not want to test Perez. With 2 outs, here's a line drive into left field from Zach Granite, his second hit of the day, and it puts the first run on the board. I'd say he and Garver have been our best bench players this season. I believe he also has B potential. Bottom 3, here's Alvarez. 1-2 count to Alex Gordon, and again that changeup, he puts it in the right spot. It gets him a strikeout, then he goes upstairs to get Whit Merrifield with the fastball. We'll go on to the 4th inning. It's Nelson Cruz who walked in his first at-bat. The 1-0 from Kennedy, lifted high and hard to right. Taking Burns back toward the track, and he makes the catch with room to spare. With 2 away, the Twins call upon Mitch Garver, and there's a line drive to right center. He comes through again. He and Granite each reach in their first 2 trips. There's a 2-out double. Now Adrianza trying to turn around his offensive play, taking the knuckle curve, and then a changeup away. A long at-bat here for Adrianza. Here's pitch number 8. Grounded to the right side. Picked up, thrown to Kennedy, who beats Adrianza to first, and the inning comes to an end. Overall, a good start here to the game for Ian Kennedy, and Yadier Alvarez giving up a line shot that flares over short, and Hosmer reaches. That takes us to Billy Burns. On the first pitch, he drills it through the right side, 2 aboard for Kansas City, their best scoring threat in the early frames. Salvador Perez swings and misses while both runners go, We weren't ready at all for a double steal. I thought maybe he fouled off the pitch and they were just running with it. Can't get the call on the fastball. Then Perez fouls off another. 2-2. The slow roller can bring home Eric Hosmer, and the Royals tie the game at 1. We'll jump ahead, same score, bottom 5 with 2 away. This is Merrifield with a high fly to right, and it falls between Blackman and Adrianza. It ends up being a 2-out double that probably should have been avoided. So the Royals think maybe they can take the lead. 1-2, this is wide of third base. Next pitch to Lorenzo Cain on the ground, and that ends the 5th. I thought maybe we'd get a higher scoring game at least to start this one, but 1 run each through 5. Nelson Cruz, meanwhile, draws his second walk of the day. That was clearly out of the strike zone. 1-2 to Mitch Garver with 2 away, and he'll deliver another hit. 3 on the day, putting 2 aboard for Minnesota, and with the runs coming very infrequently, it's time to bring some speed off the bench. There is Byron Buxton as the Twins hope for a hit to drive him home. Adrianza, there's a wild pitch. Both runners advance. Perhaps a hit could score 2. Can Adrianza come through? 1-2, he lifts it into the left field. Lazily. And working over is Alex Gordon to put away the final out of the 6th inning. A quality start here for Ian Kennedy as we go bottom 6. Alvarez looking for his quality start, and Escobar waves at a pitch outside. Then it is Billy Burns with 2 down and a quick little flare to third base. And we go into the 7th, still tied at 1. Bottom 7, Alvarez remains in the game, one of his longest outings of the season. Great play at third, and the throw from Eduardo Escobar gets the out. That would be it, though, for Yadier Alvarez. He goes 6.2 innings, allowing just 1 run. Great outing. I just didn't want him facing Mike Moustakas, so he turned to the lefty, Buddy Bo Shears, and Moustakas hits into the shift, and that's why you do the shift. We're through 7 with 2 runs combined. Like I said, I wasn't expecting this, but it kind of made sense given all the backups we played. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Hasn't done much to this point, but that'll change right now. Driven to the gap. With 1 away, Goldschmidt is in with a stand-up double. But instead of Nelson Cruz following him, it's Byron Buxton with a base hit to right. But it can't score Goldschmidt. Runners at the corners. Here's Eduardo Escobar. And there goes Buxton. Perez will try to get him out, but he's not even close. Double play no longer a concern, and they will intentionally walk Escobar to make it a concern again. But they walked him to face Mitch Garver, who already had 3 hits to this point. This is exactly who he wants up in this spot, but the fastball is blown by him. 2-2. On the ground to the right side, 4-6-3. Double play, and the game remains tied. The runs were sure hard to come by in this one. Let's go bottom 8. Bo Shears still in the game to face more lefties. Here's Alex Gordon with a good battle here against Bo Shears. Full count and a walk. For some reason, his control became a big problem in that at-bat, so we turned the game instead to Jake Reed. First pitch to Whit Merrifield, drilled to first. Goldschmidt to second, return throw, not in time, it's a fielder's choice. Next, it's Lorenzo Cain. He'll ground it to the right, and it gets past Adrianza. Took a bad angle, and that allows Merrifield to move up to third. Now runners at the corners, but a jam pop-up to deep short is caught. And you're not going to tag on that, so 2 away for Eric Hosmer. So in this spot, I thought it wasn't worth facing him. We got to walk him to face Billy Burns. 1 for 3 on the day. Could he come through to untie this game? Here's Jake Reed getting the ground ball to Goldschmidt. And this game is still tied at 1. Could we change that in the 9th? Here's Jorge Polanco with a 3-1 count. There's a drive to right center. Great swing. Into the gap, rolling slowly. He's not stopping at 2. Polanco wants 3. The relay throw on target, and he's out at third base. I could not believe how quickly and perfectly they got that ball in. So the risk does not pay off, and what happened next? A hit that would have scored him from second most likely. Quentin Berry comes through. Can the Twins still get a run, maybe? Here's Blackmon popping up into shallow right. And that is no problem. And we go bottom 9 now. And as the road team, of course, we're worried about a potential walk-off ending this. But instead, we'll go around the diamond for a quick double play and go to extra innings. Bottom 10 for Trevor May, a 3-1 count to Lorenzo Cain as he hits the outside corner and follows it up by blowing a fastball right down the middle. Let's go top 11. Adrianza swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. Twins get nothing here. Bottom of the 11th, now it's Fernando Abad's turn as he gets the big swing and miss from Eric Hosmer and follows it up with another one on Billy Burns. With 2 down, Salvador Perez, he'll strike out as well. Abad strikes out the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Kansas City. That's great pitching. Then in the 12th, a base hit again from Jorge Polanco, trying to get that game-winning run. And Blackmon next with a high drive into right field. Burns catches up to it. I didn't think he was. So again with Jorge Polanco, we don't run the bases very effectively and go bottom 12 instead. Abad stays in the game. Not a strikeout this time as Granite, working to track this down, forces a 13th inning. There were no runs since the 4th. Granite trying to change it. He gets another base hit to lead off the top of the 13th. Then he looks to take second base. Perez can't throw him out. Now a runner in scoring position for Paul Goldschmidt. It's the perfect opportunity, but Goldschmidt can't hit the curve. We get in front of it, and then a pitch to the backstop, and Granite moves up to third base. Can Buxton get the go-ahead run scored? He misses the curve as well. That's a really slow breaking ball at 73, and we were ahead of both of them. So we call on Miguel Sano. We just want to get this run. 1-1 to the right side, and foul. 2-2, another strikeout. Ahead of everything he was throwing at us. Raisel Iglesias enters the game with Lorenzo Cain at first. Mitch Garver throws him out. That's the best throw I've ever seen from Mitch Garver. Why don't we go bottom 14 now? Jorge Soler's turn to strike out and force another extra frame. We're going to the 15th, everybody. Paul Goldschmidt, 2 strikes, 2 down. And stopped at short. Escobar to his feet. Excellent play. And the Twins still can't get a run home. Bottom of the 15th inning. We are running out of relievers. Tyler Duffy gets another strikeout. We go top 16. Leading off is Byron Buxton. And on the very first pitch he sees, it's going to left center. And he starts sprinting towards second base. They do hold him there. But there is some speed aboard. Can we get the run home this time? This will help another wild pitch. We'd have to really screw this up to not get the run, but Miguel Sano strikes out. That breaking ball was just so slow. How about Mitch Garver? Already 3 hits in the game, just trying to bring one home. Did they think that Buxton was going to steal home with that? I couldn't understand it. Next pitch, driven into left. It is down for a base hit, and Buxton sprinting home. Twins take the lead at last. Mitch Garver's 4th hit finally unties this ball game. Bottom 16, Tyler Duffy, our last reliever to try and win it, gets the line out. And then it's Eric Hosmer with 2 down. The last chance for Kansas City. Big swing and miss. 2-strike count. Fly ball hit into shallow center. In comes Barry. Got it. And the Twins win in 16 innings. It took every reliever we had. I even had Maxwell Fowler stretching in case he had to come into the game. But the Twins finally get the victory. We had 15 hits. We had plenty of chances, but somehow we did not run out of time to get this victory. We then beat the Royals in the very next game with Byron Buxton and Jorge Polanco both going yard. The win in this game goes to Dallas Keuchel, already his 10th on the season. Then, in the final game of the series, we win again, 9-5 over the Royals. Buxton gets the triple in this game, so a really nice series for him as we hope his offense continues to trend upward. Now for the rest of this episode, we're going to focus on another key prospect in our organization, starting pitcher Gary Tadano. We really haven't spent enough time talking about him since I drafted him, partially because he was in the same class as Maxwell Fowler and he's gotten a lot of the attention. But Tadano has the potential to be as good or even better. He throws a mean cutter, he's 8-4 on the season with a 3.79 ERA, and he's already up to an 80 overall. I've had him stay at AAA because he has had some inconsistencies this year, and I want to see him continue to develop while we have other players who have some more experience that we're still trying to learn more about. We have a lot of good pitchers in our organization. I think we're going to end up with 5 good ones at some point. I just don't know when. Now, in this first inning against Syracuse, we see Tadano losing some of his control. That's been one of his weaknesses this season, as he's posted 41 walks in just over 78 innings. It's about a walk every other inning that he's averaging. He does bounce back, however, and makes the final putout to close down the first inning, despite allowing the 2 walks. His walk per 9 rate is one of his worst attributes at only a 47, but he's also a high strikeout pitcher. That's what's really exciting about his game, because he averages over a strikeout per inning, and you can see why here in the early frames against Syracuse. Bottom 3, there's the cutter to get another strikeout. That's his best pitch. In the 4th, still scoreless, this ball hangs over the middle and is crushed to deep left field. Tadano doesn't give up many home runs, but on a breaking ball left over the middle, you're gonna have some happen. I wasn't sure if I put that in a bad spot. It was good accuracy. Maybe could have been a little lower. After the home run, there were some issues, giving up a double down the left field line and then another one down the right field line as Syracuse gets their second run, and they're able to make it 4 straight extra base hits. 3 of the 4 came with 2 strikes. I'm not sure if it was just getting unlucky or what. It was just a really bad inning. But when he's on, and there's the strikeout later in the 6th inning. Only 3 runs allowed to this point, so not a terrible outing. And the lineout ends the inning. Following that inning, Rochester finally got some runs and they kept Tadano in the game. There's the fastball, getting some good heat at 94 miles per hour. But then he does allow a couple base runners to reach in a row, so they pull him after 6 1/3 innings. He allowed 7 hits, 2 walks, and got 6 strikeouts before being pulled out of the game. And unfortunately, the next pitcher to enter was Luke Bard, who allowed both of the base runners Tadano was responsible for to score. So he ends up allowing 5 runs, actually. Overall, I'm not too worried about it. If the control gets a little bit better, I'll be really confident about his game. But I think he'll make it to the majors at some point this season. September call-ups, I'd say, at the latest. And it could be a lot sooner than that. That will bring us to the end of the episode. Next time, we're going to see Maxwell Fowler. I know many of you have wanted to see more of Max lately, and we are tied right now with Cleveland, apparently, despite having a better win percentage, so technically we're ahead of them in the standings. Maxwell Fowler and the Twins take on the Detroit Tigers next time, as we see another division matchup play out. If there is another player you'd like to see me focus for a few minutes on talking about, leave suggestions down below in the comments. But I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching and supporting the series. Please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications when the next videos are posted. And I will see you again soon. Have a great day.